Depression isn't just sadness, it's a silent, invisible force that changes how you see the world, how you act, and how you treat yourself. It whispers lies, convincing you to push people away, neglect your needs, and doubt your worth. But here's the truth, you're not alone. Millions of people are battling the same feelings every day, even if it doesn't look like it from the outside. Have you ever found yourself staring at your phone, unable to reply to a text? Or sitting in a messy room, overwhelmed but unable to move? These aren't just random moments. They're signs of how depression is affecting your life. Today, we're uncovering 10 ways depression sneaks into your daily life, and most importantly, how you can take the first steps to fight back. Let's dive in. Number 1, turning away from the world. Depression convinces you that being alone is easier. You cancel plans, ignore calls, and stay in bed instead of going out. At first, it feels like a way to protect yourself, but over time, the isolation becomes a habit, and the loneliness it brings only deepens the pain. Have you ever told yourself, I'll reach out tomorrow, but tomorrow becomes a week, then a month? Before you know it, the thought of reconnecting feels impossible. Depression makes social interactions feel exhausting. It tells you no one cares or that you're a burden, but the truth is the people who care about you want to hear from you. How to fight back? Start small. Reply to just one message, even if it's a simple, hey, how are you? Or step outside for a short walk where you're around others. These small steps can slowly break the cycle. Number 2, neglecting your space. Depression makes even the simplest chores, like doing laundry or washing dishes, feel overwhelming. The clutter builds up and soon your space feels as heavy as your thoughts. Have you ever looked around your room and thought, how did it get this bad? Maybe you told yourself you'd clean it tomorrow, but tomorrow never came. The mess starts to feel like a physical weight, making everything seem harder. Living in a cluttered space adds to your stress, but depression drains the energy you need to fix it. How to fight back? Pick one small area to tackle. Maybe it's your desk or a single corner of your room. Set a timer for 5 minutes and see how much you can do. Small wins can help you feel a sense of control again. Number 3, ignoring personal hygiene. When you're battling depression, even basic self-care can feel like climbing a mountain. Showering, brushing your teeth, or even changing into clean clothes might seem pointless. You might think, what's the use? No one will notice anyway. Have you ever stayed in the same clothes for days, avoiding mirrors because you don't want to see yourself? It's not that you don't care. It's that depression leaves you feeling too drained to act. Ignoring hygiene isn't laziness. It's a sign of how much energy depression takes from you. How to fight back? Start with something small. Wash your face or change into clean clothes. These tiny steps can remind you that you're worth taking care of. Number 4, losing control of sleep, too much or too little. Depression doesn't just affect your emotions, it takes over your nights too. For some, it's endless insomnia, where your mind races with every worry and mistake. For others, it's sleeping all day, using sleep as a way to escape reality. Have you ever woken up after 12 hours of sleep and still felt completely drained? Or spent the entire night staring at the ceiling, wishing your mind would just stop? Depression disrupts your natural sleep patterns, leaving you exhausted no matter how much or how little you sleep. How to fight back? Try creating a bedtime routine. Turn off screens an hour before bed, dim the lights, and do something calming, like reading or listening to soft music. It might not work overnight, but consistency can make a big difference. Number 5, overthinking everything. Depression turns your mind into its own worst critic. You replay conversations, second-guess decisions, and overanalyze everything, wondering if you said or did something wrong. Have you ever sent a text and immediately thought, did I come across as rude? What if they're upset with me? You end up obsessing over it for hours, even though the other person probably didn't think twice. This constant overthinking keeps you stuck in a loop of doubt and insecurity, making it hard to move forward. How to fight back? When you catch yourself spiraling, pause and ask, is this true or is it my depression talking? Writing your thoughts down can help you see them more clearly and break the cycle. Number 6, eating too much or too little. Depression can throw your relationship with food completely out of balance. For some, it's eating to fill the emptiness, snacking late at night or binging on comfort food. For others, it's losing all appetite, where even the thought of eating feels like a chore. Have you ever opened the fridge, not because you were hungry, but because you hoped food would somehow make you feel better? or skipped meals entirely because you just didn't have the energy to eat. Depression disrupts how your body handles hunger and fullness, making it hard to nourish yourself properly. How to fight back? Focus on simple, easy-to-make foods. Even something like a piece of fruit or a slice of toast can give your body the nutrients it needs to keep going. Number 7. Losing interest in things you love. Hobbies and passions that once brought you joy now feel meaningless. Depression steals the spark, making everything seem dull and unimportant. Have you ever sat down to do something you used to love, like painting, gaming, or reading, only to stop after a few minutes because it just didn't feel the same? This loss of interest isn't about laziness, it's a symptom of how deeply depression affects your emotions. How to fight back? Start small, spend 5 minutes with an old hobby, even if it doesn't feel the same at first. Sometimes just the act of doing can help reignite the feeling. Number 8, avoiding responsibilities. Depression makes even simple tasks feel overwhelming. Bills go unpaid, deadlines are missed, and emails sit unanswered. The more you avoid, the bigger the pile grows and the heavier it feels. Have you ever stared at a bill or an important email and thought, "I'll deal with it later," only to let it sit there for weeks? Avoidance might bring temporary relief, but it adds more stress in the long run. How to fight back? Choose one small task to tackle today. Even something as simple as replying to one email or paying one bill can help ease the weight. Number 9, guilt and self-hatred. Depression is a master manipulator. It convinces you that you're a burden, that you've failed, and that you're not good enough. These thoughts aren't true, but they feel incredibly real. Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, "Why am I like this?" It's not your fault. You're not your depression. How to fight back? Practice self-compassion. Speak to yourself the way you'd comfort a friend. Remind yourself that your thoughts don't define your worth. Number 10, living in fear of happiness. Depression often brings a fear of good things. You avoid joy, sabotage opportunities, and push people away because you're convinced it won't last. Have you ever turned down something exciting because you thought, "What's the point? It'll just go wrong." Depression uses fear to keep you stuck. But happiness is worth fighting for. How to fight back? Take small steps toward joy. Say yes to one opportunity, even if it feels scary. If you saw yourself in any of these points, know that you're not alone. Depression lies to you. It tells you that you're stuck, that you're unworthy, that things will never get better, but none of that is true. Take one small step today. Text a friend, clean a corner of your room, or just take a deep breath and remind yourself that you're stronger than you feel right now. What's one thing you struggle with most when you're feeling low? Share it in the comments below. Your story could help someone else feel less alone. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, share this video with them. Together we can break the silence and take back control.